Magic in the morning, and there's Promiscuous. And we're at 8:35. Mike Barrett in on this absolutely gorgeous sunny Tuesday for an installment of Good Policies. What do you think of this?
Wow. That's all I got. Wow. This is what we're here for, right? I mean, why else would you live in the Northeast Kingdom if you don't have all the seasons so that you can complain about something with the weather any day of the week? Like, I can complain today now, and my wife would literally slap me if I did, but I could say, it's too hot today, so it's to have that freedom. That's why we live here.
Good luck with that. I mean, we've had an entire calendar every week for the past couple, but anywho, let's get focused on our Good Policies chat, and I think we had a good one last week. I saw you put it up and tagged us on Facebook here.
Yeah.
And you're always on the road. I mean, whether you're out, checking out properties, for insurance coverage and such like that, inspections and things, but you're also all over the country. And I understand you got a journey coming.
Yeah, got a trip tomorrow. So this is an annual trek. It happens in the month of April. Usually it's a week or two earlier than it is this year. And they always plan it so it's after the blossoms, right? I miss the cherry blossoms in D.C. every year by like a week. But I am the national director for the state of Vermont, as a member and a director for the Independent Insurance Agents and Brokers of America, also known as Big I. And every year we have our legislative conference in Washington, D.C., and that's going to be starting tomorrow evening with events that I'll have through Saturday at midday. Lots to talk about down in D.C.
Well, we know it's going to be a business trip, but you tend to take the family along with you. Are they going to be there with you?
They are. So Jen and Ethan like to come every year. Again, because it's a little later, he's going to miss school because school vacation was last week. In years past, we've been successful that we've been able to take him during school break. But that's okay. A trip to D.C. is a good class, right?
Well, if they are going with you, I mean, I know Jen is accustomed to dressing up, being very professional looking, probably with some real dapper dress suits and dresses and such.
She dresses me, but not today, as you can tell.
What about little man? I mean, is he going with you too?
So we go on Thursday night. There's a rooftop reception at our legislative. We actually have, as part of our Big I, we have a team of people that are a government affairs team, and they have an office kind of right next to the U.S. Capitol in D.C., and they have a rooftop. And so there'll be a rooftop reception, and every year we've always had someone to watch Ethan. This year we can't find anybody, so we got Ethan a suit. So he's coming with us to a reception with cocktails and appetizers and House members and senators. So we'll see how that goes.
And grape juice.
Maybe a little bit of grape juice, yeah.
Maybe it'll stain that new suit, and you can save it. You're going to have... Now, listen, little man in a suit, you're going to have to send us a picture of that, okay?
There will be, but it's not all play. I mean, there is a lot of business down there. So as we're meeting with the senators and the House members, and we be meeting with Senator Sanders' office, Senator Welch's office, House Becca Ballant, her office as well. But we have some concerns. We're down there because we're advocating both for the consumer and the insurance industry. And we're, in this case, really trying to help them set forth some legislative ideas that can help everybody. Right now, we're supporting the pre-disaster mitigation efforts, which is actually in the Fix Our Forest Acts that we'll be talking about with the representatives down there. But another one that, and you and I don't talk about this much, but there's legal system abuse. And legal system abuse is actually making it so they're getting these really high settlements that insurance companies are paying, and almost unfounded. And people are using it as an investment mechanism. So multi-million-dollar lawsuits coming out of the coffers of insurance companies. People ask why their insurance gets expensive. That's one of them. So we have a long bit of discussion on that. We're going to talk about crop insurance because that's a perennial conversation that we have. Crop insurance is not something I personally sell, but we know a lot of farmers who have it, and there are crop agents that are helping them. So we want to make sure that we're talking about that. And the other big one, Jeff, is, NFIP. Every time the government goes to shut down, NFIP shuts down with it because NFIP is directly linked to the federal budget. So if the federal budget has issues, NFIP goes down. That can be traumatic for somebody who's looking to purchase a home, and all of a sudden closure and their home purchase has to be delayed because they can't get national flood insurance program. So that's part one. Part two, we're really working hard to make the federal program understand and accept that there's a private flood program so that we can have the two become not interchangeable, but because sometimes it makes sense to go one route versus the other and vice versa. Right now, it's not a fair plan to do that. So lots to talk about when we're down there.
Well, when you mentioned the private or personal flood coverage, that's above and beyond or outside of the guidelines of anybody in the FEMA floodplain noted areas, yes?
A little bit of that. So remember, anyone can try to get a flood insurance quote with a private company, regardless of whether you're in a FEMA town or not, regardless if you're in a higher risk or not. You can get a flood quote with the private insurance carriers. Their difference is that they will approve or disapprove before they will consider issuing coverage, right? So you may not get it. Whereas the NFIP, you have to be in a participating FEMA town. All you have to do is be in that town. You could be at the top of the outing club, or you could be next to the Passumpsic River coming through town, and you can get flood insurance in Lindenville because Lindenville's a FEMA town. And FEMA can be, the NFIP program subsidized the higher risks for so many years that they've corrected it, but that correction has led to an increased cost for everybody. So there's just, that's a big discussion that we'll be having down there for sure.
Well, we always have great discussions in here anyways. Like we had a great one about automotive insurance last week, and recently we've talked about pet insurance. I mean,
it's interesting with the pet insurance. I saw some Facebook posts recently about it, not even linked to what we talked about, but people talking about the increased cost of their pet insurance. And I kind of chimed in a little bit like, yeah, that's kind of the nature of the industry. As your animal gets older, it's going to cost a little more money. I choke at the price that I pay for my dog for his health insurance, but you know what? He's a lab that likes to eat things that aren't things that he should ever be eating. So I need to have that protection.
You may call him a dog, but we know he's just as much a family member as Ethan and Jen. So.
Yeah,
and that's the way people look at it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I did see something here, and we'll wrap it up with this here. One of my friends on social media posted up yesterday or the day before, and it was quite a simple post. Spring is here, and if you're one of those people that drives around with your dog in the back of your pickup truck, pretty much may you burn in.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that illegal now? I thought that wasn't allowed anymore. Charlie, much to everyone's laughter and my wife and son's chagrin, he sits shotgun whenever, even when he's not in the truck, nobody else sits shotgun. That's his seat. And not because he claimed it, because his dog hair's all over the place and nobody wants to sit on it. So.
I love our chats. All right. Give him the contact.
Sure. Barrett Insurance. We're on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury. Give us a call, 748-5224. You can find us online, thebarrettagency.com, Google, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Just look for Barrett Insurance Agency.
So as we went into this, you mentioned that you're going to miss the blossoms down in the D.C. area.
We'll see some on the ground if they haven't raked them up yet. So.
I met one of my friends up here the other day at Nick's when I was gassing up, and he'd just come back from the D.C. area. He said while he was down there, they were just about done.
Yeah, and they're quite a scene. But you know what? They have the rental scooters, so I'll just play around on those.
All right. We'll see you next week, and have a safe trip, okay? Yes, sir. Magic in the Morning with good policies, and we've got music from Shania Twain headed your way.